Williams downfield for Tech. And Williams will take it 2 yards deep and bring it out. He's got some room past the 20 and then dragged down to the 28-yard line by Gilbert, the kicker. Well, we touched on this at the start. Taj Brooks, one of the best running backs in the country. He is third at 132 rushing yards per game nationally. He's working his way up the Texas Tech all-time rushing yards list. Could be number one if he has a big day today. 242 yards away from the school record. He's on the Doak Walker Award watch list, and he's a finalist for the academic Heisman, the Campbell Trophy. And here he is on first down. Out past the 30-yard line, a gain of about 5 to the 33. Baron Morton back. His Taylor touchdown. How big is that, Dusty, for Tech?
It's massive. He is the leader of this offense. Second year as the starting quarterback. But last year with Tyler Shuck in and out, Morton was banged up. He's taken complete ownership of this offense. Will Hammond stepped in nicely in the second half, but great to have Baron Morton healthy, ready to go here today.
Morton will throw for the first time to Caleb Douglas out in space, and he will come up short of a first down. It'll bring up third down and 1.
In great position here, third and short as you touched on. That's an excellent front for Iowa State, but well, this is Taj Brooks territory here at third and short.
And they do pound it with Brooks, and at 230 pounds, he's able to extend and get the first down out to the 39.
Boy, Taj Brooks just so bouncy for a guy his size, and we talked to him yesterday. He's a big running back, but the jump cuts and the ability to make people miss in the open space, very impressive to watch.
Brooks leads the country in carries, and here he goes again. Beautiful cut that time to his left, and a gain of 8 out to the 47, tripped up by Malik Verdon, the safety who leads the team in tackles.
Another nice run here as they get up and they go quickly, leaning on Taj Brooks as we expected.
Here's Brooks again, finding running room into Iowa State territory and stiff arming with the defender downfield at the 36. Verdon gonna face full that time of Brooks.
It's a really good block off the right side, the right guard. Davion Carter, the Memphis transfer, helps secure that hole off the right. First from Taj Brooks. What an opening drive for this Texas Tech rushing attack.
One of only 2 players in college football with a 100-yard game in every game he's played this year. The other, Ashton Jeanty of Boise State. Here's Brooks on first down, or excuse me, Jacoby Williams, the true freshman, and wrapped up by Zamir Hawk. So the first time they're able to get a Texas Tech running back to the ground for not much.
They like Jacoby Williams, the true freshman. He's got some twitch and some burst of his own. And though doesn't bring the size to the table at just 180, runs and plays with some real toughness.
Morton to throw on second and long. And floats it deep downfield, wide open as Josh Kelly walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas Tech. A 35-yard strike to a wide open receiver, Josh Kelly, from Baron Morton.
What an opening drive for Texas Tech. Excellent job. The route combination, the throw from Baron Morton, the rub created contact. Jeremiah Cooper went to the ground. A wide open Josh Kelly, and a massive touchdown to kick this game off here on the road for the Red Raiders.
Gino Garcia on for the point after. 18th touchdown pass of the season for Baron Morton, and Josh Kelly, who's 6th in the country in receptions, with a touchdown grab to get the Red Raiders on the board less than 3 minutes in. Okay, will we have a program of any kind or no?
What happened?
So we have no program monitors operating up here.
Okay, let me see it. Yeah, let me see it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
Wow. Wow. Cyclones, obviously. They only give up 14 points per game here, but already surrendered 7. A touchdown by Texas Tech. Apologize for technical difficulties. We're not allowed to show you that last replay just based on our cameras being down the previous segment. Iowa State's last game was 2 weeks ago against UCF. Rocco Becht was the hero. The redshirt sophomore quarterback on the final drive had some key pass plays and eventually a rushing touchdown and a 2-point conversion to keep the Cyclones undefeated on the year. He will operate from his 25-yard line. There was some movement on the defensive line by Harvey Dyson. That's why you saw the left tackle, Jalen Travis, for Iowa State.
Defense.
Move.
33. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Rocco Becht, whose dad Anthony played in the NFL, was a former first-round pick as a tight end. His mom also a great athlete, All-America gymnast at West Virginia. 2 interceptions, though, in that game against UCF. First time he's done that this year. He'll throw for the first time here and has a first down. Jaden Higgins, their best receiver. 46 catches now on the year and a gain of 16 there.
And something to keep an eye on. Jaden Higgins has great size, route running ability, and offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser called him a cheat code versus man-to-man.
Here's Hansen getting the carry to midfield for a gain of 4. They will rotate running backs. They have 3 different ones. All average about the same number of attempts and yards per game.
Carson Hansen, he's on a heater right now. 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games. He's got the most size. I like his vision and the downhill running he displays. It's been a huge factor for this rushing attack the last couple of ball games.
Hansen again on second down. And he runs over a defender and gets a first down to the 43-yard line. Jacob Rodriguez got the worst of that. The weak side linebacker for Tech.
There's that downhill physicality from Hansen. Lowers the shoulder and goes through Jacob Rodriguez.
Iowa State with tempo, and they'll run it again. Pinballing off an initial hit. Hansen falling forward for 2 to the 41. Brought down by Quincy Ledet.
Jacob Rodriguez in there on that tackle, the converted quarterback, Virginia transfer season ago, was hurt, only played in 4 games, still learning the linebacker position, but when this defense needs a play, he's come up with big plays throughout the course of the season. Nice tackle on first down.
Becht out of an empty set will throw. Steps up in the pocket and dragged down at the 39-yard line by Isaac Smith. So still a gain of 2. You know, you were talking about Jacob Rodriguez. Let's go ahead and look at the replay here.
Rush gets there, but one thing that, Becht does so well, feels that pressure, gets up the field and creates something out of nothing.
3rd down and 6. Pressure off the edge. It's picked up, and Becht fires complete for a first down to Jaden Higgins.
And there's Higgins once again. As they get man-to-man coverage, they're going to locate him all throughout the course today. A nice find to move the chains from Rocco Becht. He's got two go-to guys, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Knoll, and regardless of the defense knows it's coming to him, in a crucial moment, in a big spot, Rocco Becht's going to find one of those two targets.
They've combined for 5 100-yard receiving games this year, that duo. From the Texas Tech 31, Iowa State's going to run it off the left side with Jalen Jackson, and brought down at the line of scrimmage by Ben Roberts. No gain on the play.
Ben Roberts was thrust into a starting spot as a freshman last year, and he's really continued to improve here in year number 2.
Play action, Beck setting up, in trouble, and got rid of it at the last second, throwing it out of bounds as he was being hog-tied by Harvey Dice in the 3rd. Smart play by Beck, though, to release that ball and not take a 10-yard sack.
With Dice in the 3rd, coming off his best game a week ago. Good job staying square, not biting on the fake, and getting Rocco to the ground. Now 3rd and long. Jalen Knoll, Jaden Higgins, top of your screen.
And that's where Becht is going, and the ball is thrown high and incomplete, intended for Higgins. Braylon Lux, who's been battling a shoulder injury, but is starting this game in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Well, Lux has been the most consistent linebacker, and good to see him out there healthy. He was banged up throughout the course of the week. A little contact before the ball gets there, not enough to draw the flag. And Texas Tech with a big stop on defense, and they said they just got to be able to get stops, not allow the explosive plays down the field, force Iowa State to earn it. Important stop there on the opening possession.
Kyle Conrady, a 49-yard attempt. He's made one from 54 to beat Iowa this year, and he buries that one. So Iowa State on the board, but it remains 7.
System known as CoachCom, and they will use that for the remainder of the season.
All right, Taylor, good report there. And this is year 1 of this in college football. This has been something that has been at the NFL level for a long, long time, where they have an encrypted system. And in the coach to player communication, it should be noted that at 15 seconds on the play clock, it's shut off anyway.
Yes. I think they would take this information, continue to fine-tune it, figure things out, and find the best way to move forward and make sure that the integrity of the game is at the forefront.
Here's a design run for Baron Morton. He got hit on that left shoulder. That's the shoulder that he hurt last week. Cooper Ebel with a big lick on the quarterback and loss of about a half a yard.
Well, this linebacking crew's dealt with so many injuries, but Ebel, Barnes, true freshman Brazina have all stepped up. A nice play coming downhill there, tackling Morton right at the line of scrimmage.
Morton with a touchdown pass already, going to work again, taking a shot into double coverage, and it could have easily been caught by Josh Kelly off his fingertips. You wonder if he got distracted by Malik Verdon, or maybe Verdon even got a hand on the football.
Boy, it's clear Baron Morton is in attack mode down the field. They thought Josh Kelly could have a big day coming in. Chooses to go to him over the top. That's a dangerous throw. Triple coverage. Verdon gets his hand on the football. I thought he had Caleb Douglas on the underneath crosser wide open. He elects to take the shot. Fortunate that pass wasn't picked up.
They bring pressure after Morton in trouble, gets rid of it, throwing downfield, and it's caught for a first down by Josh Kelly. What a blind throw from the far hash mark, on target by Baron Morton with the defender in his face.
Well, they brought pressure. Verdon gets there right as he throws it, and Morton just throws it to open space. Nice job by Josh Kelly locating that football, going down, and making a big 3rd down conversion.
He leads the country in catches on 3rd down, Josh Kelly. From the Red Raider 42, Morton over the middle to Kelly again. And it's a first down to the 45-yard line of Iowa State, a gain of 13.
Well, now this is an RPO, and these linebackers flying downhill to deal with Taj Brooks. That middle of the field wide open, and a strike from Baron Morton. Josh Kelly, a feature target here early on in this ball game, this Texas Tech passing attack.
And this is the #1 defense in the Big 12, number 9 nationally in points allowed, number 2 in the country against the pass. But struggling early on against Texas Tech. Morton throwing again, dumping it off, and a big hit on Williams on the perimeter. Miles Purchase on the takedown, a short gain.
Yeah, Iowa State has been stingy, especially on the back end of that defense. Such a veteran group in the secondary for John Haycock. Taking the ball away about as well as anybody. 15 takeaways on the season. Been excellent defending the pass, and they're being put to the test here early against Texas Tech.
Morton with time, unloads complete again. This time Caleb Douglas on the catch. Down to the 30, 14 more yards through the air.
This is excellent timing on the route. Caleb Douglas finds open space on the corner route and perfectly placed ball for Morton.
Morton throwing again. Douglas juggled it and secured it. He had some drops early in the year, but has settled down. He's averaging about 120 receiving yards per game over his last 3, and he gets 5 there.
Well, that's really good concentration from Caleb Douglas. And, you know, he's really been putting more time in. Monday mornings, he goes in after lift, spends a lot of extra time on the jugs, been paying dividends for this receiver.
Morton, end zone, it's caught, flag down. And it's going to be offensive pass interference on Coy Aiken, pushing off before he caught the football.
Pass interference. Offense, number 8. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, Jontez Williams, who's been excellent for Iowa State this season, he's in coverage outside. And here, right as this ball is being delivered, point of contact, you'll see Clay Aiken use that right hand, get just enough of a push. Williams goes to the ground and it draws the flag.
So it'll be second down and 20 after the penalty. Out of empty, Morton to the sideline. Douglas lost his footing. And a gain of only 4, bringing up 3rd and long.
Josh Kelly, inside receiver, been the go-to guy. And as Dave mentioned, no one's caught more passes on 3rd down in the country than him.
Morton looking that way, and Kelly's got it. But he'll come up short of a first down by about 5 yards. What do you do here if you're Joey McGuire?
Well, Joey McGuire, few people go for it on 4th down as much as him, but he trusts his kicker. Gino Garcia is yet to miss on the season. Want to get points out of this drive and try to get it back to a touchdown lead.
Lead the country in 4th down conversions, 4th and 5, but understandably against a defense that doesn't give up many points, trying to take 3 when you got it here. 44-yard attempt, and this one splits the uprights. Garcia remains perfect, 13 of 13 on field goals, and it's 10-3.
Well, Texas Tech came in, knew they needed a fast start, a touchdown for Texas Tech.
This will be a touchback. We'll come out to the 25 for Iowa State. Let's look at our impact players now, brought to you or delivered by Papa John.
And we've already seen these guys have an impact on the game for Texas Tech. It's Taj Brooks, one of the absolute best running backs in all of college football on the Iowa State side of things. Jaden Higgins, one of the go-to guys, and if it's not going to Higgins, it's probably going to Jalen Knoll, the senior who's been a starter here for 4 years and a 2-time captain, going to be a key for this Texas Tech secondary to locate these 2 targets of Iowa State.
Thought it was interesting on the other side that Brooks didn't touch the ball last possession, but they still got points. Carson Hansen, and he's out for 9 yards to the 34-yard line, brought down by Isaac Smith. Good gain on first down as the Cyclones go with tempo and go with an empty set. They ran back 20 times against UCF. Long throw complete to Jaden Higgins, and he's able to wrestle his way through 2 would-be tacklers for a first down to the 43.
Marion Horn, the corner, just giving too much space to Higgins, and an easy pitch and catch from Rocco Beck. No, he wasn't set.
Yep, flag down. Iowa State number 2 in the country in fewest penalties, number 1 in fewest penalty yards.
Offense, number 9. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Sunday is the final day of the NWSL regular season. The only games on the schedule, both with playoff implications. Chicago takes on Kansas City, the current part owned by the Mahomes family. Of course, Patrick Mahomes played at Texas Tech. See him on Monday Night Football this week for the Kansas City Chiefs. San Diego Wave and Racing Louisville, the other game on Sunday. Beck going to work, and that pass caught. What a stab by Knoll, and he's got a first down to the 44.
Just past the original line of scrimmage. How about the hands and the concentration by Knoll? This pass way out in front. Strong hands on the screen just to bring that in, and but easily could have been an incompletion, a pick of a 6.
Beck from the pocket has time, and that one was dropped by Knoll. Man, he makes a heck of a catch on the last play, and then what looked like a routine grab down the middle was put on the ground.
Yeah, right over the linebackers. Perfect route. Good throw by Rocco Beck out in front on the hands of Knoll, and a rare drop by the senior.
Had over 100 yards in the 4th quarter alone of their win against UCF. Second straight year he's been a captain. You don't see that very often from him.
Tech showing man-to-man coverage.
They rush 4 out of the pocket. Beck being chased, flips it downfield for a first down to Higgins. What a great throw by Beck all the way to the 32. Gain of 24.
We touched on it early. Again, Taylor Mauser, the offense coordinator, called him a cheat code. And if he's in one-on-one situation, the trust there from Rocco Beck, put it up, and a great adjustment working back to the football by Jaden Higgins.
Beck gonna hand it off here, and Sama dragged down for a loss on the play by Charles Esters. It was really interesting watching College Game Day today. Nick Saban said he thought Rocco Beck is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in college football. That was a great throw on that last play.
Absolutely, just putting it up, trusting his big target that he's going to win, and he's just playing with so much more confidence this year, Dave. He was thrust into that position. He won the job, but kind of probably before he was ready, continued to improve last year, added more of a mobile dynamic and a complete understanding of this offense here in year number 2 as the starter.
They lose 3 yards though on the last play, and then no snap. Everybody else moved except the center.
False start, offense. Everyone but the snapper. 5-yard penalty, second down.
On the season, only 176 penalty yards by Iowa State, number 1 in the country. Already 10 penalty yards, 2 fouls here today. Second and 18. And the ball's on the ground. Beck picks it up. and gets maybe a yard. Could not get the handoff to Junior field goal. As Coach mentioned, 3rd and 17. If Cyclones just try to get 7 or 8, give their kicker a shot. Back from the pocket, throws underneath, and breaking a tackle at the 30, and down close to the first down, about 2 yards short is Gabe Burkle. And the Cyclones going to keep the offense on the field for 4th down.
Yeah, I think Matt Campbell right to go for this here. Try to steal some of this momentum back from Texas Tech. They've come out and they've started fast. Keep the football in Rocco Beck's hands.
You like this?
I do like this move by Matt Campbell.
Being aggressive, 4th and 2.
And Rocco Beck can run with this football.
Beck throwing, and it's incomplete at the 20-yard line, off the fingertips of Higgins. That would have been a 1st down. So we've seen 2, for all intents and purposes, drops by the top 2 receivers on that drive for Iowa State.
You'd like to see this football more on his frame. He puts it low outside, and Higgins unable to go down and bring this catch in. That'd be a tough grab for him to go down. It's well defended on the outside. I really thought they would have utilized the mobility of Rocco Beck. Saw the 2-point conversion against UCF, quarterback run, elect to put it on his arm, and that's a huge stop for Texas Tech and defensive coordinator Tim DeRuyter.
And I understand what you're saying. Would have been a great catch, but he's a great player. You got to come up with that. Taking over on the Red Raider 24. Morton with a defender right in his face, never saw him, and he's sacked back at the 18-yard line. J.R. Singleton, one of the captains on defense for Iowa State, with the tackle.
Well, the Texas Tech front's going to cut across the board. The problem when you cut, if you don't get that defensive lineman to the ground, things like this happen. Great job staying on your feet, playing the cut block. Nowhere for Morton to go with the football, and a big sack.
4th on the year for Singleton. Penalty marker down. Pre-snap.
False start. Everyone with the snapper. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Check in with Taylor.
Coach McGuire going to his receivers and says, guys, we have to be better on the perimeter. That starts with our hands, feet, and eyes. They want to see that on this drive. We know this offense loves to throw the football as much as they love Taj Brooks.
2nd and 21, back at their 13. Morton to throw with time. Everybody covered. Now Morton throwing underneath. The catch made, but an immediate tackle at the 18-yard line on Tharp.
Well, that's your vintage Iowa State drop 8. Back in that umbrella zone coverage. Smart by Baron Morton going through his reads. Got to just check it down. An excellent job coming up the field and making the tackle. 3rd and long, little shift change for Iowa State defensively. These are spots where John Haycock has elected to bring pressure. We'll see if he brings pressure here on 3rd and super long.
Stead rushes 3. Morton in trouble with everybody covered. Trying to keep the play alive and just head for the sideline. The ball is knocked away, but it goes out of bounds. Marcus Neal poking the ball free. It goes out of bounds. It'll remain Texas Tech ball, but they have to punt after a loss of 4.
They drop back and they play that zone coverage. Neal was playing more of a spy, watching Baron Morton when he broke the pocket. Excellent pursuit to the football. He gets the punch out and a huge stop for this Iowa State defense.
They get the kick away. And it's pretty good. Backpedaling and making the fair catch is Jalen Knoll at the 44-yard line of Iowa State.
Well, the true freshman Marcus Neal, he's going to play spy. Watch the pursuit to the football when Baron Morton breaks outside the pocket. Sometimes it's about effort and 1-2. Cyclones getting the football back when we return.
Download the Taco Bell app to learn more.
Showing pressure. That was a check there by Rocco Beck at the line.
And on 1st down, they run it off the left side. Abu Sama to the 46 for a gain of 2. 7 undefeated teams left in college football, with Penn State losing to Ohio State earlier today. The Cyclones are one of those 7 teams, but trailing early in the second, 10-3. Back to throw, Becht. Moving to his left, keeping his eyes downfield, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Gabe Burkle, who's getting more targets, with Benjamin Bramer, the number 1 tight end, out due to injury today for Iowa State. Got an injured Texas Tech player.
Boy, really good coverage down the field by the free safety, Chapman Lewis. Right there in the hip pocket of the big tight end, Burkle. Good job getting a hand in there in the pass breakup.
Can't see the number of the injured Red Raider. So while we have a moment, let's check in with Matt Berry back in the studio. And here it's 10-3. DeBrail and Carroll, under his own power, walks off the field. Big 3rd and 7 here for Iowa State near midfield.
Like Jalen Noel here in the slot.
Becht throws complete, and turning is Noel to get the first down inside the 30. High stepping before he shoved out a play.
Where Jalen Noel just so good after the catch, puts his foot in the ground, starts with the route, foot in the ground, horn slides right by, can't get the footing. Big time pickup after the catch, and a much needed 3rd down conversion for Iowa State.
28 yards down to the 25 of Texas Tech. Jalen Jackson in the game at running back, dragging a defender. Charles Esters III down to the 19 for 6.
Well, he's only 180 maybe, Jackson, but good physical run, getting downhill in that outside zone stretch, and a nice pickup on 1st down.
They've run for 237 yards or more 4 times this year. They have not lost a fumble. You already touched on the lack of penalties. One of the most disciplined teams in the country this year. Another run play on 2nd and 5, and boy, Sam Ahmed in the hole and driven back by C.J. Baskerville after just 1 yard.
With C.J. Baskerville, when he gets downhill, can really play with great physicality. Iowa State went big that time, 3 tight ends in the game. As you'll see, they love to mix in these tight ends into personnel grouping, and a nice stop on 2nd down by Texas Tech. Big 3rd down here for this Iowa State offense. Noel able to pick up the last 3rd down with Jaden Higgins up top. Both these receivers got to locate them.
Beck keeping it, and Texas Tech was all over it. No gain on the play. And so Iowa State will bring on the field goal team for about a 37-yard attempt.
It's an excellent individual play by Jacob Rodriguez, coming downhill, fighting through a block, and getting back to the ground. Tim DeRuyter got to be fired up about the way his defense has started this football game. Huge stop to force the field goal.
They give up 36 per game. That's 122nd in the country. So far 3, maybe 6, depending on this 37-yard attempt. It's good for Kyle Conrady, who's 2 for 2, but Iowa State still down.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 36 in the defense. 15 yards when we forced the kickoff. Field goal was good.
.49% with a win today to make the CFP. First year of the 12-team playoff, and it's going to be a squib. And on a hop, scooped up by Williams. And bottled up at the 20-yard line. Aiden Flora on the tackle. Coming up on ABC tonight, 7:30 Eastern. Number 10 Texas A&M heads to Columbia to take on South Carolina. What a great year it's been for the Aggies since the opener, where they did not look very good against Notre Dame.
I expect Marcel Reed to be the quarterback. If you like defensive line play, that game is chock full of it. Going to be an incredible atmosphere. Fun game coming up tonight. I want to see Taj Brooks get involved on this drive for Texas Tech, Dave.
Morton throwing on first down, though, to Josh Kelly. And Kelly gets belted, but pinballs past the line to gain out to the 33. So that's a pickup of 13.
Boy, such a great pickup of Josh Kelly this offseason. Washington State transfers had such an impact, the possession receiver, and what a start to this game.
Taj Brooks is tripped up in the backfield, lost his footing, and down at the 30-yard line. Darian Porter was there defensively. That's the first carry for Taj Brooks since the first drive, and he leads the country in rushes per game, about 26.
So good at typically making that initial defender miss. Nice job by Porter coming downhill, and Brooks loses his footing.
Joey McGuire told us yesterday we need to lean on 28. But Baron Morton has been great throwing the football, and that's why they're letting him spin it again here. Everybody covered. Morton on the move again, being chased, and finds an open receiver on the sideline. Coy Aiken on the catch. Out of bounds at the 38 for a gain of 8.
Well, Coy Aiken does such a good job here. He falls down initially in his route, gets up, works back to the quarterback. There's a great connection between Baron Morton and Coy Aiken. They lock eyes. Quarterback finds his outlet. That's making something out of nothing there on second down.
Morton 12 of 13 passing.
Man-to-man coverage.
Morton's pass knocked away, incomplete, intended for Josh Kelly, broken up by Miles Purchase, and now a late flag is thrown at the 40-yard line.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 8. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So that's offensive pass interference on Aiken. That's the second time he's been called for that today. Penalty, though, declined. 4th down and 5. Texas Tech will punt.
John Haycock mixing and matching zone man-to-man coverage. There's going to be the penalty on Aiken, coming up trying to set that pit on Verdon. Excellent job by Purchase creating that pass breakup.
Jack Burgess punting for the second time. And a very demonstrative signal for a fair catch at the 25 by Knoll. You saw the penalty marker come soaring in there at the end. Boy, Knoll wanted to make sure everybody knew that he was signaling for a fair catch.
During the kick. Holding. Receiving team number 0. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
So Ben Nagoy called for a penalty that will. Wow, Matt, that's 10 interceptions now thrown by Carson Beck this year. 4 more than all of last year. Iowa State takes over on the 15, and a run play, but a huge hit on Jalen Jackson in the hole after a gain of about 2. It was Roberts with the stick. Now coming up next, Louisville Clemson tonight. Clemson rolling since that loss to Georgia week 1. A&M South Carolina on ABC. TCU, which beat Texas Tech by 1, taking on Baylor. Beck doesn't see the pressure coming and still completes the pass at the last second. Got it away to Higgins, and he got a first down. Boy, Beck was about to get lit up by Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, pressure off the edge, and Jacob Rodriguez, no one accounts for him. It's a nice job by Beck, getting that pass off just in time, locating Higgins once again, been the go-to guy for this Iowa State passing attack. 7 targets, 5 catches in this game already for Jaden Higgins.
So that's 50 catches on the year. He had 53 all of last year. Iowa State going with that heavy look. 2 tight ends in the backfield. And a big hole running behind those big bodies. Out to the 32 is Carson Hansen for about 7.
Boy, Jalen Travis does a really nice job just getting push, opening up that hole off the left side. The Princeton transfer, really nice job. And as we talked about earlier, Carson Hansen really gets downhill. Nice run on first down.
Made his first start last week, or last game, I should say, 2 weeks ago against UCF. 2 touchdowns in that game. Cyclones had a bye last week. Pass play on second down. Beck hit as he throws. The ball flutters, and it's picked off at the 44-yard line by A.J. McCarty.
Well, that's a huge takeaway for Texas Tech. One thing that they've done a great job of all season, and the pressure by Ben Roberts. I want you to just watch the effort by Roberts. It's initially a good pickup by Jackson, the running back, who steps up. But watch Roberts, never goes to the ground, stays right there like a cat on all 4s, and he gets right into the face of Beck, disrupts that throw, and creates a big takeaway.
Well, you mentioned this is how Texas Tech has lived defensively with takeaways. That's 11 interceptions now in the top 15 on the season nationally. Baron Morton going back to work, and the ball is batted down. His hand was going forward. Incomplete pass. Ryland Barnes hit the quarterback.
Pressure just coming off the side here. Quarterback starting to feel these opposing defenses. That ball more looked like it got deflected. Like a hand up, batted that ball down after the pass was delivered.
Morton throwing deep, single coverage, and the ball thrown out of bounds. Intended for Aiken. Verdon covering downfield along with Purchase.
Good coverage down the field. This ball just continues to sail out of bounds. One-on-one. Aiken wins initially. Unable to get that foot in bounds. Good job by Miles Purchase in good position with the coverage.
3 straight incompletions for Baron Morton after a hot start.
Showing pressure here on third down. They're going to come after him.
Morton in trouble and sacked back at the 45-yard line. Joey Peterson there first, cleaned up by Ryland Barnes.
John Haycock not going to sit back and be conservative. He brought the corner blitz off the edge. Miles Purchase, and then it was Joey Peterson, just relentless effort to the quarterback from the inside. Great job by Peterson. The collision on the guard, working back, ricocheting into the quarterback, and a big stop for Iowa State after the Texas Tech takeaway.
And the fair catch made at the 15. 3 sacks for Iowa State this game after none in the last 3 games. And now a quick word from Verbo.
Defenses so far have been stingy, and that really showed in the...
Look, if you want a house without a host, you should have booked a Verbo. Like I was saying, both teams have really good defenses, and it really showed in the second half.
Day pass, Dusty Dvorak, Taylor McGregor in Ames, Iowa, on an overcast day with a temperature around 50 degrees. Iowa State, one of 7 undefeated teams left in the country. 7-0 for the first time since 1938. They've never started 8-0. They trail here in the second quarter, and a negative play on first down. No running room for Abu Sama. Down at the 10-yard line for a loss of 5.
Boy, great job just getting penetration on the inside by this Texas Tech front. McAlpine just gets vertical, creates that negative play. Backing Iowa State up right around the 10-yard line. This Tech front has really done a nice job holding this Iowa State rushing attack in check throughout the course of this game.
Beck from the pocket in trouble and dragged down for a sack at the 9-yard line. Jacob Rodriguez, who missed half of last year due to injury, a former option quarterback in high school and at Virginia, with the takedown.
Well, Jacob Rodriguez is going to come here, and you're going to see Ben Roberts come all the way around. Both linebackers come, and they are mixing it up right now. Pressure dials up, nowhere for Beck to go with the football, and Jacob Rodriguez with the big sack.
He's married. His wife, Emma, is a helicopter pilot in the Army. Now it's 3rd down and 16 from the Iowa State 9. Beck from the goal line gets rid of it out to the 15-yard line. Carson Hansen tackled at the 17, so a gain of 8, but Iowa State will punt it away.
Well, it's good pressure once again. Working inside. The coverage is good down the field. Just 4-man pressure. Drop 7 into coverage. Another good stop from Texas Tech. An offensive battle here in this second quarter, Dave.
And now Perkins backed up to punt around his 2-yard line. They set up the return. Excellent kick. Backpedaling is Brown. Makes the fair catch signal. There is a penalty flag down at the 38-yard line on the other side of the field.
During the kick, holding, 14 of the return team. 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down, Texas Tech.
Drew Hocutt called for the penalty, so a chance to flip the field with Iowa State punting on its goal line instead. After the 48-yard punt and the penalty, Texas Tech backed up at its 24. We mentioned Jacob married to a helicopter pilot in the U.S. Army. It's his high school sweetheart, Emma. Great shot there.
Incredible story. We appreciate her service. And as we talked to him yesterday, obviously very proud of his wife, knew she'd be watching at home, and what a job he's done transitioning from quarterback, stepping up, making big plays here this afternoon.
Here's Taj Brooks trying to find a hole, and still he gets pounded. Iowa State all over him. Bo Freeler in there defensively. Ebel had a big hit too.
I love watching Bo Freeler on tape. Plays with such physicality. That center field safety that John Haycock has made so famous here in Ames, Iowa. Been playing a lot of football for the last 4 years. A nice stop on first down.
They'll snap it before the 2-minute timeout, and Morton taking a shot. One-on-one down the field, and it is picked off back at the 35-yard line. Darian Porter with the interception.
Who they are.
Results in the 13th interception for Iowa State this season. Rocco Beck going to work. 3 timeouts to play with. Beck eludes a defender and then just hoists it out of bounds into the Texas Tech sideline.
With pressure coming again, Tim DeRuyter continues to dial it up. Ben Roberts been very active, coming downhill on that blitz, timing it up well, and good by Rocco Beck just to get rid of the football.
Big 12 freshman of the year last year. Coaches compare him in some regard to Brock Purdy, saying that he's always trying to be himself. He knows who he is, very comfortable in his own skin. To throw here on second down. Again, getting away from pressure. Scrambling to the perimeter and out of bounds around the 40-yard line for a gain of 3. Chased out by Horn.
Pretty well defended there by Texas Tech as Rocco Beck breaks the pocket. Do a nice job corralling him, leveraging him, and escorting him out of bounds. Now all of a sudden, with 1:39 left, you get a stop here. 3 timeouts for Texas Tech. They've got their opportunity.
Right. It was
a football.
Big that he went out of bounds.
Absolutely.
There, Beck did, to stop the clock if you're Texas Tech.
Don't have to use one of your 3 timeouts. Both teams with a full allotment of timeouts.
Now we have a stoppage. A timeout called here by Matt Campbell.
Make sure they get the right play. Up top, Jalen Knoll in the slot.
Pressure coming from Texas Tech. Backed, throwing it downfield and incomplete. Just had to get rid of it. He was going for Knoll. I think Knoll believed that he was held on the play, but no flag, and it's 4th down. Texas Tech will get the ball with 1:33 left and 3 timeouts.
Try to go with the out and up. Try to get Baskerville, the safety, to bite. A little bit of a grab there, but good job over the top as well. Not falling for the double move from the senior wide receiver.
Well, Perkins will punt it to Jordan Brown. The last punt was 48 yards. Tech coming after this one. It was nearly blocked. And the fair catch at the 20-yard line. Braylon Lux was awfully close that time to blocking the punt.
But Joey McGuire dials up the block, and it is inches from getting home off that right side. Try to take the ball off the foot. And boy, you want to talk about too close for comfort if you're an Iowa State fan. Whew. Doesn't get much closer than that, Dave.
And so Texas Tech will take over on its 20-yard line. 1:27 left, 3 timeouts to work with. Only 6 carries for Taj Brooks. It wouldn't expect a lot of run plays on this drop. Morton trying to find an open receiver. Just takes off, heads for the sideline, and will stop the clock after a gain of 7 at 1:17.
What Clay Aiken was doing jumping jacks in the middle of the field. Baron Morton trying to go through his reads. All right, go ahead and freeze it right here, guys. You're going to see Clay Aiken. It's going to be in the top of the screen. Nobody with him. Baron Morton unable to locate him.
Wow. Missed opportunity. Morton 0 for his last 4 with a pick. And guns it downfield. The receiver fell down at the 45. Josh Kelly. We've seen that a few times where either running backs or receivers have lost their balance and gone to the ground. Now it's 3rd and 3 and a chance for Iowa State to get a stop, get the ball back with time and a pair of timeouts.
Footing been less than optimal throughout the course of the day for the wide receivers and skill players from both teams. And this crowd coming to life on this crucial 3rd down. Josh Kelly, one of the best 3rd down targets in all of college football, lined up here in the slot.
Instead, they're going to run Brooks on 3rd and 3. Gets a 1st down. The clock will stop to reset the chains. Now they run it. 1:07 and counting, and a fresh set of downs. Morton flushed out of the pocket again, throws back across the middle. Brooks is there, and Brooks makes a couple of defenders miss. Another 1st down. Clock will stop again to reset the chains. Tech will not use a timeout. Gain of 13.
That's a good job by Brooks. He falls down initially in the route, gets up, makes a nice play with the ball.
Morton back to throw again. Looking. Leaves the pocket again and just launches it out of play. Took a shot as well from Peterson, but hops to his feet.
Take a look at that 1st down catch by Taj Brooks. You had just mentioned the footing on the field, working that angle route And as he comes out of his break, he falls, gets back up, and it's a good job by Morton to locate him back across the middle of the field. And Taj Brooks, as he typically is, tough to tackle in open space.
There's been no rain today. There was rain in the forecast, but not sure why a lot of guys are slipping down there. 43 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Everybody covered again, so Morton on the move, keeps the play alive, and the pass incomplete. Kelly was in the area, and the clock stopped with 35 seconds left.
Just a misfire by Baron Morton, working back to his left, unable to locate the open Josh Kelly, throws that pass behind him. 3rd and long. We've seen John Haycock at times be aggressive. See if he dials up a pressure and comes after Baron Morton.
And whistle pre-snap. May have been a timeout. Don't see a flag.
First charge timeout at half. Texas Tech.
So timeout by Texas Tech. Sunday NFL Countdown Crew has you covered for Week 9, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the Monday Night Countdown Crew gets you set at 6 Eastern for Buccaneers Chiefs. Both available on ESPN and the app. Joe and Troy have our Week 9 Monday Night Football game. Patrick Mahomes against Baker Mayfield. Remember, Baker Mayfield started out at Texas Tech as a walk-on quarterback. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech legend, who, by the way, has more interceptions than touchdowns this year, yet the Chiefs are the only unbeaten team left in the NFL at 7-0.
I don't care how many touchdowns, how many interceptions. Give me that guy to go win football games. What a career he had at Texas Tech. There was a battle back in the day between Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes when they were Texas Tech, Oklahoma. Legendary. Yards, points, no one could stop each other. Be fun to watch them get after it again on Monday night.
3rd and 10 for the current Tech quarterback, Baron Morton. Morton to the sideline. It's underthrown, and it's picked off at midfield. Miles Purchase comes up with a huge interception with 30 seconds left in the half.
With Miles Purchase, just going to be man-to-man coverage. Put your best quarterback on their go-to guy. Just going to work right around the slot. Going to stay man-to-man. Working with Kelly inside. Just going to be a simple out route. And he is in perfect position. Runs the route for him. Undercuts it. What an outstanding play by the senior Miles Purchase.
And Iowa State has a kicker that's made a 54-yard field goal. So they're about 13 yards away from being in his range with 2 timeouts and 30 seconds to go here in the half. Down 4. Play action. Becht over the middle, complete. First down. Jaden Higgins into field goal range with 24 seconds left. Tech going quickly. The clock will start on the ready for play. Back to the sideline. The catch is made. Noel stays in bounds inside the 20 and then pushed out with 14 seconds left at the 18.
With great execution of this offense late by Rocco Becht. And you see how explosive Noel can be with the ball in his hands after the catch. Great job getting the chunk yards and getting out of bounds.
Timeout by Texas Tech to set its defense with 14 seconds left. Iowa State trying to get into the end zone for the first time today.
First down play. The great job at the line of scrimmage by Higgins. Wins with his hands, wins inside on the outside backer, Isaac Smith. And then just dump it down to Jalen Noel. No one outside to leverage the football back in. What an excellent job closing out this half by Iowa State. The takeaway by Purchase. And then Rocco Becht, as he's done so well this year, been able to move the football. We've seen him do it late in games against Iowa, against UCF, and now late here in this first half against Texas Tech.
Yeah, 2 comeback wins on final drives. He's targeted Higgins and Knoll 15 times this half, 9 completions between the two. See the numbers for Becht. 14 seconds left in the half, and they still have 2 timeouts. 4-man rush. Becht tried to dump it off across the middle to Burkle. And 4 seconds come off the clock. Probably 1 shot to the end zone here or a quick pass to the sideline, but I'm not sure that you're going to have enough for 3 plays, meaning 2 offensive plays and a kick.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you got to look at this as 2 plays. Got to be smart here. If you're Rocco Becht, I think the last thing you want to do is lose the position you have on the field. Clearly in field goal range, you'll be able to convert points after this takeaway. Now one-on-one outside here with Higgins. You want to take a shot, you try to do it with your big receiver.
Becht in trouble, spins away from the defender, launches into the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. Jaden Higgins. Iowa State leads for the first time today on a touchdown with 4 seconds left in the half off the interception. (13-10) Cyclones.
Well, this is so good by Rocco Becht to feel this pressure, spin out, and keep his eyes down the field. There's going to be pressure comes right here. Rocco Becht's going to spin out, and he's going to locate his target. So good feeling this pressure. Now, freeze it right here, guys. So, and you got Lux outside. So, Lux, he thinks he's got safety up over the top. Nobody's over the top. And you got Jaden Higgins, the guy who's been a magnet to the football all game, wide open in the back of the end zone. What a find by Rocco Becht. Put it up, trust your big target, and good strong hands by Jaden Higgins to go up and get the touchdown before half.
Now, Matt Campbell, excellent time management down the stretch there. Taking the shot to the end zone, knowing if it's not there, you have time to kick it. And with that touchdown pass, Rocco Becht ties Brock Purdy 12 consecutive games with a passing touchdown. That's #1 in school history. Pretty good guy to be in the same conversation with. What Purdy's done with the 49ers. They'll squib it. Scooped up by Williams. And Williams brought down as time expires in the first half. The ball to start the second half. We mentioned the 2 takeaways late. Baron Morton had thrown only 3 picks all year, and then 2 in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Fair catch made, so it'll come out to the 25, and let's go to Taylor.
Taj Brooks needs to get the ball more. That was the message.
And 4 of those came on the first drive when they went down the field and scored. On first down, here's Higgins again across the middle, and it's a gain of 15 to the 40. A bullet thrown by Rocco Becht.
When linebackers come up, Jacob Rodriguez downhill, middle of the field is wide open, and a strike from Rocco Becht to guess who? Jaden Higgins once again. The second half starts how the first half concluded.
Really impressed with Rocco Becht in this game. Redshirt sophomore from Florida. Son of an NFL player, his dad Anthony, who's broadcaster for the New York Jets radio broadcasts, was a former colleague of ours at ESPN, in the NFL for more than a decade as a tight end. Oh boy, how about this, having to burn a timeout early in the second half. So less than a minute in, and with the play clock winding down, Becht saw it and called for time.
He's so much improved from a season ago, Dave. You know, last year I think he was just kind of feeling his way. And then now this year, just complete ownership of this offense, playing with a large amount of confidence, and that's exemplified late in games, talking with his teammates and him. They always feel like they've got a chance to win the game when the ball is in Rocco's hands. Continues to play at such a high level and continues to improve as a quarterback of this team.
You think about when he was in high school towards the end of his career, wasn't on a great team, and then did not play as a junior because of COVID. So he's got some room to grow, but he's made great strides since high school. They're going to run it off the right side, and Sama is near midfield, brought down after a gain of about 6.
Nice job on the right side of that offensive line. Brendan Black with a key block, opening that hole. That's been one of the surprising things for Iowa State. They have not been able to run the football effectively. They stay balanced between the run and the pass, but very pass heavy today on the arm of Rocco Becht. We'll see if they try to get that ground game going in the second half.
Another run play on 2nd and 6, and coming backside is Rodriguez to spin down Sama after a 2-yard gain.
Texas Tech continues to do a good job at the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit down the line for a minimal gain. Now 3rd and what feels like an important possession here for Texas Tech, trying to gain back some of that momentum that Iowa State took into halftime. Haven't seen a lot of Rocco Becht as a runner, but definitely open. Big set over here on this side.
Got the unbalanced line there, and that's where they're going to run, and it's going to be close. Hansen marked short. Do you go for it on 4th down? Matt Campbell will. Do you agree with the call?
Yeah, I do. Going big personnel. This is why Iowa State feels they can roll their sleeves up. They went for it in the first half on a 4th and short, elected to throw it. I'd be stunned if we don't see Rocco Becht with likely a quarterback sneak here.
All those tight ends on the right side of the formation. And it's a quarterback sneak, and Becht looks like he got enough with that initial surge. It is a 1st down for Iowa State.
Just enough push at the line of scrimmage by the center, and Rocco Becht quickly able to move forward. Now this ball comes out, but it looked like after his knees down. So knees down, the cross. It's a good spot by the official on the field.
Between the tackles, Jalen Jackson stacked up after a 1-yard gain. BYU 5-0 atop the Big 12 standings. Iowa State 4-0 for the first time ever. Both teams very much in the college playoff hunt, even with the loss in the new format with 12 teams. If you win your conference, especially a power conference, you're likely to get a 1st-round bye. Those teams do not play Iowa State, BYU this year in the regular season. Becht finds an open man down the sideline. It's Tyler Moore, upended around the 30, but it's a gain of 18.
Well, this is what happens when they sell out to stop the run. And Tyler Moore just going to go across the formation. Nobody accounts for him in the flats. Easy dump down and a nice pickup.
Back to the air again. Fires complete. Higgins, a flag down, and Higgins is taken down at the 19. Chapman Lewis on the tackle, close to a 1st down.
This might be a legal man downfield.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 54, the offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's on Hufford, the center. Got to hold your water there on that. If you're the offensive lineman, 6-year player from Newark, Ohio.
Well, I think there's a chance it's an RPO, Dave, run pass option, and he doesn't know. He's just going to fire off the line of scrimmage like it's a run play. And Rocco Becht, he pulls up, he sees that cushion out there with Higgins, and he throws it outside. His center block and run, the quarterback throwing a pass, and the right call by the official.
On 1st and 15, and nice run that time by Sama. Defender torpedoed into the backfield but whiffed Isaac Smith, and then eventually Roberts rather on the tackle.
Boy, Sama on the zone to the left, puts his foot in the ground and whoop, makes the defender miss. Nice job on what continues to be, bad footing out here for these players. Guys slipping, sliding all around, but excellent job by Sama to pick up 5.
No, second down and long. That's Sama running around in the backfield, and Beck will throw into traffic, and it's caught between 2 defenders by Burkle. Comes up a yard short of the line to gain.
Well, tight window throw from Rocco Beck, locating his big tight end. Great velocity behind that throw.
Beck rolling out on 3rd down, dumps it off to Knoll, and he dives past the 20-yard line. A flag is down.
It's going to either be a hold or a block in the back. Carson Brown.
And Iowa State doesn't get
Illegal block in the
penalized.
back. Number 32 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
They have the fewest penalty yards all year, but penalties are hurting them on this drive.
But Chapman Lewis does an excellent job keeping his outside shoulder free, working through this block. And Carson Brown stays in his back, pushes him in the back, and draws a flag.
So now it's 3rd and 12. 4-man rush. Beck from the pocket delivers a strike, and then the ball is fumbled at the 15-yard line and recovered by Texas Tech. Burkle caught it, got drilled, coughed it up, and the Red Raiders have the ball. That would be the first lost fumble this season for Iowa State.
And by no surprise, it's Jacob Rodriguez who comes in and uppercuts this ball out. What a heads-up play by the redshirt junior. He's done this throughout the course of the season. Defense on their heels. And when this defense has needed a play to be made, it's typically...
And Chapman Lewis with the fumble recovery. Left in FBS. Big turnover by Iowa State. First lost fumble of the year. And Texas Tech gonna go back to Taj Brooks, but he's got no running room off the left side. Maybe a yard at the 15.
Got to find a way to get Taj Brooks going. He is the key focal point of this offense. 18 straight games with 95-plus yards coming into today. The opening possession, 4 carries, 32 yards. Aside from that, they have not been able to open it up for the nation's best running backs.
Over 1,500 rushing yards last year. And they check it down to him, and he gets popped back at the 10-yard line by Purchase. Forward progress to the 13, but it's still a negative play.
With Miles Purchase working on one heck of a game. He's in zone coverage, sees the check down the flats, and comes up, delivers a big blow to Taj Brooks. Now 3rd and super long. And this Iowa fan base creating some noise.
Iowa State rushes 5. Morton from the pocket, incomplete, right at the sticks. Josh Kelly could not come up with it. Jeremiah Cooper in coverage. 4th down.
Well, Jeremiah Cooper really good late, coming in with his right hand to get this ball out. First team all Big 12 a season ago. He's playing behind the wide receiver, but he gets his right hand in, rakes that ball loose, and gets the stop.
So Texas Tech unable to move the ball after the takeaway, and now a short punt. Fair catch made at the 46-yard line by Knoll. Iowa State running the ball on 1st down. Big hole between the tackles as Hansen is all the way to the 32 for a gain of 14.
With Carson Hansen They do an excellent job here getting down, going to pull back around, and a big hole opens up off the left side. That big 63 in the backfield.
They keep Klotz in at fullback, run behind him, and Hansen is knocked down by Rodriguez at the line of scrimmage. We were showing you those rankings. A reminder that we will have the first college football playoff rankings in this new era of the 12-team playoff on Tuesday night.
Can't wait for that. There's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of debate. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what this committee values in the initial rankings. We've obviously seen committees and rankings before, but a 12-team format, a lot of people are going to be paying attention on Tuesday.
Beck's pass incomplete, bring up third down. It used to be the best four, right?
Yes.
Not the most deserving, the best four. And now it's not necessarily the best 12 because you have to have your 5 highest ranked conference champions in there somewhere.
The top 4 highest ranked conference champions get a bye. Then your 5th highest ranked conference champion is an automatic qualifier. Then 7 at-larges. A completely new format that going to be fascinating to see how this unfolds.
And no limit on conferences in terms of number of teams for those at-larges. On 3rd and 10. Beck again in trouble, and down he goes back at the 38. They might be out of field goal range as Jacob Rodriguez with the takedown.
Well, Jacob Rodriguez has been all over the field here today. Comes up with another key play. See him come up as a blitzer. He's going to come here, going to work over the top. Defensive tackle. Really good job just continuing effort to the football. And they're going to knock him out of field goal range. That's an excellent, excellent stop by the Texas Tech defense.
You think this is the right move to punt? Their kickers made a 54-yarder. It would have been about a 55-yard attempt here.
I mean, clearly he doesn't feel confident in this, so your way your defense has been playing, Dave, pin them back and put them on the field.
And Gilbert does exactly that, hanging it in the air, down by Knoll, back at the 2-yard line. So Iowa State pins Texas Tech deep inside the 5. The Cyclones up 3. 2 picks, and now they're backed up. It's raining here in Ames, and they're going to run Brooks, trying to give him some room. And Brooks close to a first down. Let's check in with Taylor.
Offensive line coach for Texas Tech, Clay McGuire, fired up on the sideline, yelling at his group. Do you not understand? We literally just talked about all of this in the locker room, so trying to iron some things out on the offensive line.
And much better job by that group up front on these 2 plays. Getting the first down is Brooks.
Well, that initial run, the most productive carry we've seen for Taj Brooks since the opening possession of this ball game. Nice job for him, able to get to the perimeter. Then you see the patience and the burst for the first down.
Morton pulls it back. His pass is incomplete. Josh Kelly unable to come up with it. He's thrown at his left shoulder and couldn't bring it in.
And he just loses footing as he's going through his route. As this pass is delivered, he just slips and falls down. Footing has been very difficult for these guys to figure out throughout the course of this game. That cost them a big completion over the middle.
Just 5 catches on 12 targets for Kelly, one of the leading receivers in the country. Morton will throw on 2nd and 10. Everybody covered. Morton running around, being chased, and throws it away. Back to Taylor.
I did ask Joey McGuire about everybody slipping around here on the field, asked him if there was anything they could do about it, and he said that is just part of playing here in Ames, Iowa. He said both teams have to deal with it, so we just have to be aware, but it's part of the game.
How much is it raining down there right now, Taylor?
It's drizzling. That's what I would say, Dave.
Okay. 3rd down and 10 from the 14 of Tech.
There's no doubt both teams have to deal with it, but it's been a factor in this ball game, the poor footing for both sides.
Morton unloads, and an interception at the 30-yard line by Jontez Williams. There is a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage. Boy, that would be costly if it stands as a pick. Field position inside the 30 if this penalty is on the
Personal
offense.
foul. Illegal hands in the face. Defense, number 11. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Tyler Onyedem called for that penalty. It's an automatic first down. Again, Iowa State doesn't normally get penalized. They don't do these things.
Wow, what a costly mistake right in the middle. You can see getting the hands up in the face of the center, Sheridan Wilson. Texas Tech, Baron Morton just got bailed out because that was blanket coverage and a big interception, but a huge 15-yard penalty.
And Brooks dragged down at the 30. They had Iowa State coming into today just 23 penalties in 7 games. They've had 6 penalties in this game. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run by Brooks. You think about the job that Matt Campbell has done at Iowa State. When he took over his first year, they were 3-9, and then just a couple years later, 8 wins. Another 8-win season, 9 in 2020. The last 3 years, 18-20. So they struggled, but he's got them back undefeated in contention for the CFP. Morton stepping up, running, makes a man miss, and dives close to the first down. They'll mark him a yard short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Boy, it's a smart play by Baron Morton, just getting up the field, getting what he can get. Tech going to go quick. You got to imagine a Taj Brooks run on 3rd and short.
And it will be. Brooks finds the hole. He's out to the 43. He told us yesterday, sometimes I'm too patient. I got to hit the hole quicker. That's what my coaches have been telling me. It's what I want to do. And we're seeing more of that here in the second half when he gets a chance to touch it. Brooks again finds room. And again, Dusty hit that hole quickly. No dancing. Gain of close to 9.
Well, it's an excellent job by Sheridan Wilson, the center. I mean, this is a pancake block, opening up that hole for Taj Brooks, and a nice run on 1st down.
Morton on 2nd down and short, taking a shot, and a back shoulder throw, and it's caught by Aiken. He was on the ground, and he made the catch at the 22.
Wow! Did he catch this? Unbelievable concentration and adjustment by Aiken. He's slipping, he's falling, gets his right arm underneath this football. That is fantastic by Clay Aiken.
And here's Brooks as Tech wanted to snap it quickly before the booth, and Matt Campbell had a chance to look at that to maybe challenge.
Pardon me, Coy Aiken on that. How about that play? That was incredible, getting his arm underneath that football and bringing it in. He is slipping, falling as he's going to the ground.
We've documented the poor footing here today. And Aiken, whose dad is a rodeo coach, able to make that grab. On 2nd down, little trick play. Morton off the flea flicker. Looking downfield, but everybody covered. And so Morton throws it out of bounds. Great recognition in the secondary by Iowa State. Pressure by Tyler Onyedem.
Well, this is so good. And we're going to play it, guys. Nobody open on the trick play. I mean, it's just great coverage all the way around. Everywhere you look. And the officials had a discussion. Did he get outside the tackle box before he let that football go? Not going to draw the flag, saying he got outside the tackle box when he let it go. A big 3rd down here for Texas Tech. Kelly been the go-to guy Morton's looked to in these spots.
Morton to the end zone for Kelly, and he hauls it in. Touchdown. Penalty marker is down in the end zone. What a throw and catch. Jeremiah Cooper had the coverage. It's going to be on the defense. This will stand, and Tech has the lead back.
Holding. Defense. Number 4. Penalties applied. Result of plays, touchdown.
Incredible individual effort here by Josh Kelly. And what a dime by Baron Morton. Wow. What a response here from Texas Tech. One-on-one on the outside. Cooper draped all over him. And that pass just put perfectly over the shoulder. The concentration with the contact going on by Josh Kelly. Wow.
Extra point from Garcia. How about that drive? They go 98 yards in less than 4 minutes. You had the great adjustment by Aiken to make the catch to put them in the red zone. And then for the big play, they go to Josh Kelly again. 2 touchdowns on the day for Kelly. He had 3 all season coming in. And how about the response from Baron Morton? Back-to-back picks, almost a third, but because of a penalty on Iowa State, the drive kept going, and Morton gets him into the end zone.
That illegal hands to the face. I mean, so costly for Iowa State. You touched on, extends that drive, but the catch by Aiken, the concentration by Kelly, unbelievable drive put together there by Texas Tech. Dave, they had not had anything going whatsoever since really the second possession of the first quarter. And right when they have to have it, put together the drive of the season to this point to regain the lead.
Controversial play on the flea flicker. We weren't sure. They were looking, and the officials were talking about whether grounding should have been called. After the kick, we're going to check in with our rules expert, Matt Austin. It was really close after that pass by Morton thrown out of bounds when the defense read the flea flicker and had good coverage downfield. But Texas Tech, after losing the lead late in the second quarter, gets it back here late in the third. Fair catch. It'll come out to the 25. Matt, what did you see on that flea flicker with regard to grounding?
Yeah, Dave, this is one of the rare occasions where the quarterback cannot legally ground the ball. And the rule is if the quarterback gives, or the person who receives the snap, if he gives up possession anytime during the down, then he has no longer protected being able to ground the ball. So it doesn't matter if he got outside the tackle box or not. He can't throw this ball away. He's got to get it near a player. So in my opinion, this should have been a foul for intentional grounding.
You saw a receiver in the back of the end zone. That ball landed, though, about the 8-yard line out of bounds. So you have a point there, but the officials felt that there was a receiver in the area and didn't flag him. Iowa State running the ball, and Sama breaks a tackle and a first down. Gain of 16 for Abu Sama III.
Was an excellent job, contact balance by Sama, breaking a couple tackles, making Tech defenders miss. And a nice chunk run to start this drive.
Jacob Rodriguez missed the tackle that time. Leading tackler for Texas Tech normally makes that play. Here's Jalen Jackson off the right edge. Through a crease. Twirl to the turf at the 48 by Horn.
A nice job, the right side of the offensive line, and a key block by Gabe Burkle, the tight end. Getting some good movement here on these first 2 runs. See that speed by Jalen Jackson, the more undersized of this trio of running backs for Iowa State, but he's sudden, and boy, can accelerate through the hole.
This is his 3rd school. Was it Lamar, Eastern Michigan, and now Iowa State? Out of an empty set, Becht throwing, and not on the same page that time with Jaden Higgins, who got tangled up with Braylon Lux coming out of his break.
He's their more bigger, physical running back. Multiple tight ends on this side. I feel like they may run the football here.
And Iowa State has to burn another timeout. That's actually the second charge timeout. They had to burn one a minute in to the third. Instead of pass play, getting rid of it quick to Knoll, turns upfield, and looks like he's got the first down.
And they did exactly that. They're tight ends there to the field, right out in front for Knoll. Wide receiver screen, follow those big tight ends, and a big conversion.
Back over the middle, caught. Knoll makes the grab. There's a flag down on the far side of the field. On 1st and 15, they run Sama, and he is able to bounce it to the outside, bouncing off a defender at the 43-yard line. Missed tackle by Ben Roberts, and Sama took it to the outside for 10.
They're going to bring pressure. You're going to see Roberts come over the top, and powerful running from Sama, running through that tackle. Abu Sama really coming up clutch, breaking tackles, making some nice runs.
2nd and 4. Becht hit as he throws. Deep ball, single coverage, and incomplete, but a flag. Brendan Jordan defending Jalen Knoll downfield.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Brendan Jordan running stride for stride. Puts his hands up as if he's innocent and did nothing wrong. At right hand, you see the contact down the field. Works his body into the wide receiver. Draws the flag.
Yeah, cut off the receiver trying to get to the ball. Right in his path. Now we got an official timeout. Iowa State inside the Texas Tech 30, trailing by 4. One of 7 unbeatens left in college football. Here's Sama off the left side again. Oh, what a move. He kept his balance inside the 10, and Sama hits the pylon. They say he stepped out first at about the 1-yard line, but what a run by Abu Sama.
Abu Sama just making guys miss. Does he get in the end zone? Ooh, that's going to be close, Dave. Where's the ball at whenever his foot hits that pylon?
Oh, he's in bounds.
Yeah.
The official marked him out at the 1. Let's bring in Matt Austin on this. Matt, he kicks the pylon. Do you get goal line extended in that situation, and therefore the ball is across, or is he out of bounds?
Well, you do get when he kicks the pylon, the play is dead at that point. And as Dusty said, you got to know where the ball is when he kicks it. If the ball has not crossed the goal line yet, when he kicks it, then it's going to be short. If it's already broken outside the pylon when he kicks it, it's a touchdown.
And did you think that it crossed the pylon, or excuse me, crossed that imaginary plane, goal line extended, before he kicked the pylon?
It looks from one of the views I've seen that he kicked it with the ball just short, but without a shot right down the goal line, it's almost impossible to tell. But my guess right now is that it's short, but I'm not sure they have indisputable evidence.
Yeah, I totally agree, Matt. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. It almost feels like that ball would be moved up just a little bit maybe, but to say it crossed the goal line, I don't think that there's clear, conclusive evidence that he was able to cross.
And again, you have to have indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn the ruling on the field that he's not in.
The ruling on the field stands. 1st and goal, Iowa State.
What a run by Abu Sama. Well, he has come up clutch here on this drive, making Texas Tech defenders miss. No, just shy of the goal line, but incredible individual effort with the missed tackles created and putting his offense in prime real estate to regain this lead.
And the ball's on the ground on the exchange. Penalty flag is down as well. Looked like Becht recovered it. Let's see what the flag is about.
False start. Offense. Number 49. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Steve Klotz, lined up as a tight end, so that's a pre-snap foul. Another Iowa State penalty. That's been the issue today.
So un-Iowa State-like throughout the course of the season. On the left side of your screen, just moves before the ball.
So it's 1st and goal back at the 6 now.
With heavy personnel in right now, Dave. He had 4 tight ends in the ballgame,
including Klotz lined up as a fullback. And Hansen driven back. Big hit in the hole. It was Dingle who laid the lumber. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Jacob Rodriguez downhill. Dingle finishing it off. We stay in big personnel. They do bring in Jaden Higgins. We line up outside. Jaden Higgins to the field.
Hansen again. And down to about the 3-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from there. Boy, that call and then replay of holding it could be huge. The fact that he did not get into the end zone with it being 3rd down and goal now from the 3.
Going to bring in an extra offensive lineman. They're going heavy personnel. Feels like they're going to keep this on the ground. Going to lean on their big back. Carson Hansen.
And Texas Tech will call a timeout. 3rd and goal for Iowa State when we come back. Undefeated season on the line.
Morrow in. Got to expect they're going to run this here to Hansen.
Becht on the rollout. Looking, throwing, almost intercepted at the 1. Incomplete. Boy, Baskerville almost took the ball away with the pick. Now it's 4th and goal, and Iowa State will kick the field goal.
So good by Baskerville, reading the quarterback's eyes as they roll him out. Steps right in front. Boy, that was so close to being picked off. Good awareness and anticipation by C.J. Baskerville.
Surprised they're not going for it here? Or is this the right move? You're still down even if you make it.
I think cut it to a field goal game. I think Matt Campbell, he's just going to say, let's cut this to a field goal game and move forward.
And Conradi nails it at 17-16, a 21-yard field goal. But again, the pylon kicked, but the ball was ruled short. Replay upholds it, and then a false start penalty puts them back at the 6. They're unable to get in. Almost, though, they lose points because Baskerville should have picked that off. And maybe that's why Matt Campbell said, you know what, we're going to get something out of this. Let's take the 3. Got plenty of time left in the game.
I was more surprised they didn't run it on 3rd down there to try to get it a little bit closer and then potentially go for it if you get to the 1 on 4th down. Boy, the false start penalty by Klotz just so costly, stalling what felt like was going to be a touchdown drive for Iowa State.
23 penalties through the first 7 games, 8 in this game today for Matt Campbell's team. 2nd fewest penalties, fewest penalty yards for Iowa State this season, but that's a big reason why they're trailing. The illegal hands to the face that kept the Texas Tech drive going. On that play, by the way, Baron Morton threw a pick inside his own 30. Instead, they ended up marching down the field and taking the lead, and they're up 1. Williams on the return, tripped up, and down he goes around the 25. Matt Berry now in the studio. Wow, Mertz down, now Lagway down, 3rd string quarterback for the Gators.
Digging deep in the depth chart in that quarterback room for Billy Napier.
But tied with the Bulldogs. Here, we've got a 1-point game. 12-18 to go. Texas Tech back on offense. Gonna lean on Taj Brooks here on first down, but he's bottled up, and a pickup of about 4. Here's Taylor.
Dave, the message to this Iowa State secondary is coming up with an answer for receiver Josh Kelly for Texas Tech. Kelly, 2 touchdowns on the day, 106 yards, and Iowa State wants better coverage for him, so pay attention to that on this drive.
Tech running it, though, again. Brooks bouncing around and then turning it straight ahead. Short of the line to gain. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Well, he's just so patient. And then you see that size. So tough to get down. Keeps the legs moving. And inches close to that first down. Be surprised if we don't see Taj Brooks the 3rd straight time.
Instead, Morton keeps it and dives for a first down. Remember, Morton missed the second half of last week's game with a left shoulder injury. They got the X-ray wrong. They said at halftime that it was a broken collarbone. It wasn't, but they couldn't put him back in the game. And then there was some uncertainty going into the week whether he would even play in this game, but he's 100% according to the coaching staff. And he's played very well in the second half, other than that interception, which was overturned because of the penalty. Not much there for Brooks, maybe 2.
Boy, nice job by Bo Freeler playing that middle safety. And this Iowa State defense comes downhill immediately and meets Taj Brooks right at the line of scrimmage. Going to come out of your screen, and almost at the snap, he's going to fly downhill and make this play.
Morton over the middle. And it's caught in Iowa State territory by the tight end Mason Tharp at the 48 for 15 yards.
And same thing. So now the RPO, Freeler comes down, middle of the field's open, and they hit Tharp on the slant.
Here's Brooks. Over 1,000 yards now on the season, after over 1,500 a year ago on the ground for Brooks.
Well, all of a sudden, this Texas Tech offense starting to come. So now, this is after the nice run where we saw him come down here and make the play. Comes downhill now to defend the run. Middle of the field's open, and you get it to your tight end.
They run Brooks again here on 2nd and 2. Going to be close to a first down.
Just a way, whenever you can get Taj Brooks going in this run game, what it opens up at a crucial 3rd down coming up here.
Morton kept it on 3rd down on the last opportunity. This time he'll hand it off, and Brooks is walloped. He's short. Bo Goodwin hit him first. They're marking him short. If you're Texas Tech up 1, do you go for it on 4th down?
Joey McGuire, I'd be stunned if Joey McGuire doesn't go for it. That's his nature. That's who he's been since he's been the head coach now in year number 3. He's keeping the offense on the field by no surprise. You got Taj Brooks back there, a running back that makes more people miss than just about anybody in college football. Heavy set off the right side.
And they had Conyers lined up at quarterback. That was not Baron Morton. Jalen Conyers, who's a tight end.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And it's a delay of game. You had Jalen Conyers, a tight end who has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown this year, lined up at quarterback. Well, now it's 4th and 6. You got to punt, right?
Punt the football. There's no question. And you can. Well, that is a costly penalty. Keeping the offense on the field here. Well, this is pretty shocking to me, Dave. I don't like this call here by Joe McGuire.
I'm with you. I don't know why you do this with a 1-point lead. Your defense has been pretty good. Punt it. Your punter can pin him deep here.
Here's Josh Kelly.
But they're rolling with Baron Morton. They're trusting their quarterback on 4th and 6. He's in trouble. Steps up. Steps away from a defender. Keeps the play alive. Lobs it downfield. Incomplete. Too high for Kelly. And Iowa State takes over on downs near midfield.
4th and 1. They don't get the playoff. They put Jalen Conyers in at quarterback, delay a game. Instead of punting the football, you compound one problem and make it worse. You go for it on 4th and 6. Morton does his best to buy time. Can't locate Josh Kelly. Now you give Iowa State the football in prime real estate. All about being aggressive, but if Joey McGuire, think if he could go back and do that over again, he'd punt the football and try to pin Iowa State back deep.
Especially with the way the defense is played, and the rain has been pretty steady now. But he went with his quarterback. It did not pay off, and now Iowa State comes back with a first down catch by Knoll to the 42-yard line of Texas Tech.
Boy, middle of field wide open. Linebackers flying downhill. And a strike to Jalen Knoll.
Chapman Lewis shaken up in the secondary for Texas Tech.
Right, feels like a lot of momentum now with Iowa State and Rocco Becht.
And you mentioned the end of the half, the touchdown pass with 4 seconds left to take the lead at the break. With heavy personnel, they run Sama inside the 40 down to the 36. Let's go to Taylor.
Rocco Becht told us that his greatest attribute is his mental toughness in these moments. He says he gets that from his mom, Diane, who growing up was responsible for him and his siblings getting them to where they needed to go when they needed to get there, all while his dad, Anthony, was out playing. And so he relies on that mental toughness that he learned from his mom growing up.
Yeah, Anthony, more than an NFL, more than a 10-year career in the NFL as a tight end, former first-round pick. Sama darting forward, close to a first down, right at the sticks at the 32.
Sama just taking over these last couple of drives. Good, effective running, following his blockers, and moving the chains yet again.
Yeah, that extra offensive lineman, Tyler Morrow, in there on that last play. A lot of different personnel groups with multiple tight ends or extra offensive linemen throughout this game. Keep it on the ground. Hansen knocked down after a 1-yard pickup. Ben Roberts with another big hit.
Nice job coming downhill by Roberts. We've seen him miss a couple of tackles here in this second half. Nice job getting the ball carrier to the ground.
Nearing 6 minutes to go. Iowa State down 1.
Spreading it out, going empty here, Dave.
Back, throws it over the middle, almost picked off and then almost caught by Higgins. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker underneath, had a crack at it. He didn't get it, and neither did the receiver.
Well, Jacob Rodriguez, he steps right in front. Rocco Becht fortunate. This pass isn't picked off, just a step behind, unable to get that hand up. Setting up a huge 3rd and 10. Jalen Knoll, Jaden Higgins been the go-to guys. Here's Knoll up top, one-on-one.
Instead, Becht running to the right and getting nothing. So it would be a 50-yard field goal try from here. You wonder, did they call that thinking he might get a handful and you go for it on 4th down? It doesn't matter now because it's 4th and 11 after they lose a yard.
A surprising play call there by Taylor Mauser. But I thought they would have put the ball on the arm of Rocco Becht, especially with the way we've seen Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll win in one-on-one situations throughout the course of this game.
But Conradi has a good leg. He's kicking into some wind with, again, steady rain. He's made a 49-yarder today. Hit a 54-yarder to beat Iowa earlier this year. And this one is way wide to the right. Texas Tech ball, still leading by 1 with 5:17 remaining. Interesting play call, to say the least, on 3rd down. They lose yardage and then miss the field goal badly, and they still trail. Texas Tech takes over, and it's 33 with a 1-point lead. Brooks hit in the backfield, is able to get back to the line of scrimmage, bouncing off of a defender. Malik Verdon, second down and long.
With Miles Purchase on a corner blitz, we see John Haycock continue to be aggressive, makes that initial contact.
Morton, ball deflected and incomplete. Tipped at the line. It's 3rd and 10.
Looked like that was Cooper Ebel coming in on a blitz, gets his hand up, deflects that pass. And quickly, already at 3rd down. Massive substitution here for Iowa State. Going to change personnel. Get their best pass rushing group in there up front. Saw Haycock double Josh Kelly last time on 3rd down.
3-man rush. Morton moving out of the pocket, being chased, and throws it away. Incomplete. So a quick 3-and-out by Texas Tech. Iowa State will get the ball back. Down 1, plenty of time left.
Well, Miles Purchase just man-to-man. Going to be stuck on Josh Kelly the whole way, and a safety cheating over the top. And that's clearly where Baron Morton was looking the entire way. What a game Miles Purchase has played here. Coverage, coming in as a blitzer. Big-time effort by the senior corner.
They're going to set up the return here. Burgess with a line drive. Knoll under it at the 24. In trouble, gets away from one man, turns it upfield, and then steps out of play around the 35. A return of about 10 yards. Well, Tuesday we have the exclusive reveal of the first college football plus. You get an automatic bid to the new 12-team playoff. Iowa State on a high snap. Beck gets it down and hands it off. Sama breaking tackles and did well to actually get about a yard when he probably should have lost 3 or 4.
Jacob Rodriguez with that initial contact. Abu Sama has been so tough to tackle in that initial defender, but the penetration created allowed the Texas Tech defenders to get there for a minimal gain.
Keep in mind, Iowa State will get the benefit of the 2-minute timeout, but just 1 timeout of its own because it had to burn 2 already in this second half. Sama leaves the backfield. Beck to throw on 2nd down. It's caught for a 1st down by Higgins inside the 45 of Texas Tech.
With Jacob Rodriguez, he's going to take 1 step to his right, and it's too late. He can't get back and recover, and allows Jaden Higgins to middle the field. What a perfectly thrown ball by Rocco Becht.
He has thrived in these situations throughout this season, Rocco Becht. And he's found Higgins 9 times today, including a touchdown at the end of the first half. Engineered a game-winning drive Becht did against UCF 2 weeks ago. Run play here, nothing. Wow, what a hit by Ben Roberts on Jalen Jackson for a loss of 3.
Jacob Rodriguez first coming downhill, and Ben Roberts cleaning it up. Very good penetration by both Tech linebackers.
Keep also in mind Kyle Conrady, the kicker, just missed a 51-yarder. Missed badly wide to the right. He has made a 54-yarder on the season. Got to get a little bit closer. And went backwards on their first snap. Off play action. Beck flushed out of the pocket, being chased. Got rid of the ball at the last second, incomplete, while it was being dragged down by Dyson and Esters.
Well, this is great effort. Harvey Dyson comes all the way across to flush Rocco Becht. Good coverage down the field. 3rd and super long. And as you sit here, you don't have to get the entire first down. Just cut it in half, can make it 4th and manageable. You don't have to get all the 13 yards.
Well, on the last possession, that was their thinking too, and they ran Rocco Becht, and he lost a yard, and then they had to try a field goal.
Higgins up top.
Beck to throw. Gets rid of it, and it's caught inside the 35, and it's a 1st down, and breaking free, Carson Brown. Just his 5th catch of the year, and his first touchdown. Iowa State And Iowa State will go for 2. Carson Brown, first catch of the day, first target of the day. Gives Iowa State the lead. High snap, Becht on the rollout. And the pass is incomplete in the end zone, almost intercepted by Horn. It was intended for Knoll. So Texas Tech will need a touchdown, trailing by 5, 2:11 to go.
Well, this is so good by Rocco Becht in the pocket. We're going to see Carson Brown work from right here, just shut it down right there. Now, I want you to watch the linebacker, 13, Ben Roberts. He's going to work inside. Okay, instead of getting whipped, he works inside. Rocco Becht sees that, stands firm in the pocket, hits the open man, and then Carson Brown to the sidelines. As soon as Ben Roberts cheated inside, Rocco Becht made him pay, and what a clutch drive for Iowa State.
Rocco Becht does it again, giving his team the go-ahead score in the fourth quarter for the 3rd time this year. But a lot of time for Baron Morton and the Texas Tech offense. 2:11 to go. They still will get a stoppage at the 2-minute timeout, and they have 2 timeouts of their own. And they squib it. And out to about the 30-yard line is Jordan Brown. Boy, that was interesting. Instead of kicking it deep, and Tech will take over at its 30. In the last game that Iowa State played UCF 2 weeks ago, Rocco Becht with his feet, Rocco Becht with his arm, and then doing it himself on the goal line, punching it in. Also a 2-point conversion to get a 3-point win and keep this undefeated season going. Iowa State trying to go to 8-0 for the first time ever. One of 7 undefeated teams left in the country. A 5-point lead with 2:06 to go. And a flag comes down. Movement by Texas Tech.
Full start. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Just can't happen. Ty Buchanan, the left tackle, moves early. Baron Morton trying to check the play. And now Texas Tech shoots themselves in the foot again.
They have to go 76 yards. And they're going to run it on first down. A lot of room for Brooks. And he's got a first down out to the 40-yard line. That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout.
For Taj Brooks, one of the best running backs in the country. Big hole off the right side. And how about the hurdle as we hit the 2-minute timeout?
Touchdown, 2 timeouts, 1:59 remaining. Clock will stop on first downs. They're going to run Brooks again, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Got to operate quickly right here for Baron Morton.
Morton to the air, and taking a shot, got a man, overthrew Josh Kelly, who had a step on the DB, Jeremiah Cooper.
Oh, this is a missed opportunity by Baron Morton. It's a double move on Jeremiah Cooper, and Josh Kelly's wide open. And he just missed him, overthrows him. He's got Cooper turned around, nothing but green grass in front, unable to connect on the double move deep shot.
And it's raining the hardest it has all day for 3rd and 10. And a flag, movement again by Texas Tech. Red Raiders falling apart on this drive.
Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And Caleb Rogers is making his 51st start of the game, of the season. What a career he's had. The captain, 51 starts coming into today. And movement, setting up 3rd and 15.
The crowd, a major factor right now. Morton from the pocket, steps up, takes off, heading for the sideline, got out of bounds after a gain of about 8. It'll be 4th down and around 7 with 1:29 to go.
A smart by Barry Morton. There was nothing down the field. Instead of forcing it, chop that 15 yards in half and set up 4th and manageable. One thing we've seen a lot of, Josh Kelly's been the go-to guy, but it's been Miles Purchase who's taken on the challenge to lock him up in man-to-man coverage. I would be surprised if you don't see 5 on 3, and that's exactly what we have.
On 4th down, Morton with time, looking over the middle, and a diving catch is made for a 1st down. And it's Josh Kelly pulling it in at the 49 of Iowa State. The clock will stop to reset the chains, and then they run it on the ready for play. Morton off play action, looking deep, going downfield, broken up at the last second and complete. Jordan Brown, the intended target. Malik Verdon was there defensively.
Verdon in trail position. He's got a club on one hand, and he's beat initially. And as you see, Brown has to wait on that ball, gets the right hand in, creates a pass breakup. Excellent timing by Verdon to get the PBU.
Here's Brooks running on 2nd down with room off the right side and down to the 33. The clock will stop to reset the chains. Texas Tech still with 2 timeouts remaining.
Nice job on the right side. Caleb Rogers helps allow Brooks to get to the perimeter.
Morton off a play fake, moving to his right, and the pass caught along the sideline by Kelly. Got a foot down at the 22. Clock stopped with 54 seconds left.
Well, this is an excellent throw by Baron Morton. And how about on the sidelines, a little toe tap by Josh Kelly.
Ooh, I don't know that he had possession. Ball was moving.
You may take a look at this, Dave. He didn't.
Catch is under further review.
Doesn't pick it clean. His feet are in bounds, but as he's catching that football, it slides down to his side. Great throw by Baron Morton. Get a look at it here on the sidelines. Feet are in, but where does he possess the football? Tough to tell from that angle.
Remember, ruling on the field is a catch. He's pinned it against his leg. Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, do you see enough here, because it has to be indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt, to overturn the ruling on the field of a catch?
I do, because I don't think he ever has firm control. Looks to me like he's chasing that ball down his leg and doesn't secure it until that second foot touches out of bounds. So I think this should be overturned to an incomplete pass.
Ball comes down. It's so close, Dave, because, you know, as Matt says there, when does he have firm control? Because he pins it on the leg, but does he pin it before that foot touches out? It's about as close as it gets.
If it's overturned, it would be 2nd down with the ball back
That's
at
a
the
further
33.
review. The ruling on the field stands.
Wow.
1st down.
Ruling on the field stands, so not enough video evidence to overturn it. 1st down at the 22 with 54 seconds left, down 5.
And the ball slid, but whenever he pinned it to the leg, it was happening almost simultaneously to whenever his foot hit out of bounds. Wow.
And now, if you're Texas Tech, you can do anything. You got plenty of time. You got 2 timeouts. Taj Brooks is over 100 yards. He's starting to get going here in the 4th quarter. But Morton will throw. Pressure off the edge. Morton's pass caught on a comeback. Sliding to the ground is Douglas. A gain of about 8. The clock is running. Will McGuire use a timeout?
They're going to get up. They're going to run a play quickly.
Inside 40 seconds to go. Morton, play action, lobs it, and it is caught. Jordan Brown, they rule him down at the 1. He did not get in. The clock will stop to get ready for play, and then they'll run the clock right before the snap. And now we've got a stoppage. So they're going to look at this to see if he got in. Ruling on the field is he is short. But still, Texas Tech 2 timeouts, 29 seconds to work with. Even if he is short, you got 4 chances to get it in from the 1 to maybe win the game.
So Bo Freeler's going to come downhill. Okay, they put that in the belly of Brooks. Middle of the field is wide open. And you see Baron Morton put plenty of air underneath that football, allow Brown to go underneath and get it. I think this is the right spot. As he catches this football, knee's going to be down just shy of the goal line, knee down. Ball doesn't cross yet. It's a good spot. Good concentration there by Brown. That ball hung in the air forever.
Yeah, and to your point, it's where the ball is when he's down. And it does look like they got the call right on the field.
Knee down, that ball was just inside, just outside of the goal line. Really good look at it right there, inside the 1 yard line.
All right, so Dusty, let's advance it.
Yeah.
1st and goal on the 1, 29 seconds left, 2 timeouts.
Taj Brooks. I mean, or quarterback sneak. I don't think you don't overthink this thing. You got 2 timeouts, you got, at least 3 opportunities at this. From inside the 1 yard line. What a job by Baron Morton. Wow.
And you think of all that's on the line for Iowa State. Unbeaten season, one of just 7 left
After
in
further
college
review,
football.
the ruling on the field is confirmed. Runner was short of the goal line. It's going to be 1st and goal. Please set the game clock to 34 seconds.
If
34
Iowa State
seconds.
were to
The clock will
lose,
start on my signal.
BYU would be alone atop the Big 12 standings. Iowa State is at Kansas next week, then Cincinnati at home, at Utah, home against Kansas State to finish the year. And now Matt Campbell relying on his defense to stop Texas Tech 4 times from inside the 1.
Out of the gun. Conyers in there.
Yeah, Conyers not Morton, and there's movement again. This is the 2nd time with Conyers on the field they've had movement. Why take Baron Morton away from the quarterback position and line him up wide? Why mess around there? False start. Joe McGuire is going to have to use a timeout here. Otherwise, you're going to have a 10-second runoff because it was a penalty that stopped the clock.
False start on the offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. 1st down. Iowa State has declined taking the 10-second runoff. Clock will start on the snap.
Iowa State declines the 10-second runoff. Well, now it's 1st and goal on the 6, so play call changes maybe, right?
Absolutely. Baron Morton goes back in at quarterback. And you mentioned why put in Jalen Conyers. Conyers was a high school quarterback. They've run that package before. Big at 265. Wanted to just try to power the football in. But now you're backed up to the 6. Just another mistake by the veteran, Caleb Rogers.
Morton to throw, lobs, end zone, knocked away by Verdon. Mason Tharp, the intended receiver, 2nd and goal, 24 seconds left. And again, 2 timeouts for the Red Raiders.
Verdon in great position, not biting with it, staying with the big 6'9" tight end, gets the right hand up and knocks the ball away.
A lot of contact. And again, they have Conyers in the game. Looks like maybe a direct snap to Brooks with Conyers next to him. Yep, direct snap. Brooks to the end zone. Touchdown! Texas Tech has the lead over unbeaten Iowa State with 19 seconds left.
Wow, what a play call by Zach Kitley. Quads to the field, uses Jalen Conyers as a lead blocker, the direct snap to Taj Brooks, capping off this drive, going for 2 here to make it a 3-point game.
Iowa State has 1 timeout left, 19 seconds to try to get into field goal range. Texas Tech will call a timeout. This is an important conversion. If they get it, even with an Iowa State field goal, we would then have overtime. But obviously a lot has to happen first for Iowa State to even get a shot at that.
With Jalen Conyers with the block of his life, watch him set this edge and spring Taj Brooks to the perimeter. Just an excellent job getting into Darian Porter, the corner, and Taj Brooks takes it in. The setup, though, out of your screen, they went quads all the way to the field. So they set it up toward just a corner over there on the edge, and you get a 265-pound tight end matched up on that corner, and Taj Brooks gets to the perimeter, and a huge touchdown for the Red Raiders.
Brooks has had almost 100 rushing yards this half. Only he and Ashton Genty of Boise State have had 100 yards in every game they've played this season on the ground. He just gave Tech the lead. Red Raiders going for 2 to make it a 3-point game. They put a second back on the clock, too. So it's at 20 seconds now for Iowa State when they get the ball. Morton to throw. Backing up, being chased. And Morton throws it with his left hand into the end zone, incomplete.
Trying to do his best Patrick Mahomes impersonation. He told us that Mahomes texts him from time to time. They stay in contact. I'm sure if he's watching, he's appreciating that. Unable to convert. Good coverage in the end zone, but...
And give Baron Morton, too, Dusty, you got to protect the ball in that situation. Now, he's got a man open here, and Morton didn't see him. But you got to protect the ball, because remember, if you fumble there, it's a live ball. Yep. It could be returned for 2 points, and Iowa State could win the game. And so it's dangerous that he put it in his left hand, but he was close enough to the sideline and then just chucked it into the end zone. No harm, no foul. And now Iowa State, with 1 timeout left, they will get stoppages on first downs as well. 20 seconds left. Their kicker, Kyle Conradi, missed a 51-yarder earlier this quarter, but he has made a 54-yarder earlier this season. If you're Burkhardt, the kicker, do you kick it in the field of play so the clock starts as soon as it's touched, or do you kick it deep?
I think you try to kick it in the field of play. Allow your guys to go down and tackle inbounds, burn off as much of that clock as you possibly can.
You also risk a return if you do that. And Burkhardt is kicking it deep, so be a touchback. A little surprised that they didn't squib it. The field has been slippery. It's raining. The clock would run. But they chose to kick it deep. And now Iowa State will start on the 25 with Rocco Becht, who has 2 game-winning drives this season, including their most recent game 2 weeks ago against UCF. He led them down the field 80 yards for a touchdown. They need a field goal to win the game. They have to get to about the 38 of Texas Tech in less than 20 seconds to give their kicker a chance. They have 1 timeout. Becht to the air, steps up, clock is running. Becht on the move, dumps it off, and getting out of bounds to stop the clock is Higgins with 13 seconds left. 7 seconds came off the clock.
Good by Becht to avoid that pressure, find an open Higgins. Higgins quickly gets out of bounds as fast as he can.
They need about 20 more yards. They can throw it in the middle of the field because they have a timeout. Becht from the pocket. And the ball is knocked away at the last second, incomplete. Horn on the sideline came over as Noel was the intended target. 8 seconds left.
Was an excellent job by Horn. Zone coverage, works off his initial man and steps in front of this football. Well played by the sophomore corner.
You probably have one more play.
One play.
And you need about 20 yards.
Jaden Higgins got the size. Can go up and get the football.
Over the middle, it's incomplete. Dropped by Moore. And now you got 4 seconds left. You're obviously in a situation where you either got to get something quick to the sideline or Hail Mary. And Texas Tech's going to send a bunch of guys downfield.
And it looked like they were going to try to set up the hook and lateral. Underneath, you could see Higgins look like he might try to take a pitch, but misplayed, mishandled, and now nothing left but a prayer here for Iowa State to keep this undefeated season alive.
We got a great night of college football coming up. It's been a great day so far. A&M South Carolina on ABC. Clemson Louisville right here on ESPN. Baylor TCU on ESPN2. Penn State fell from the ranks of the undefeated, losing to Ohio State earlier. And Iowa State 4 seconds away from its first loss of the year. Do you take a chance here, try to throw one to the sideline?
You better be quick. I mean, that is very dangerous with 4 seconds left to play. No timeouts. I don't know, Dave. I'd be surprised.
And even if you did that, you're probably not going to get enough yardage anyway. But they do throw it over the middle. Here's the pitch to Higgins. Throws it back. Knoll, and then his pass hits the ground. It goes through the legs of Becht, and it is out of bounds, and the game is over. Texas Tech pulls the upset in Ames. The Cyclones are unbeaten no more.
It's a massive win for Joey McGuire for Texas Tech. Haven't beaten a top 11 team since Oklahoma.